So let's take a look at this. Somebody sent this to me back a while ago, but from 1994, Spring Hill, Tennessee. It is the Saturn homecoming, and the middle-aged Saturn owners are crowded under a tent drawn by an injection die supplier explaining the fine points of something called cube modeling. Okay, so this is coded to beat all fuck. Saturn, for those of you that are overseas, it's a car that they make here. I think General Motors makes it. It was a piece of shit. Isn't that funny? Saturn was a piece of shit. You probably have to beg General Motors engineers to sit still for this. The Saturn owners are lapping it up. A lot of people want to hear about this. The suppliers ask as part of Friday's crowd of 15,000, so there's your 96. Strolls past his display in the rain. In the rain. That's a play on words because it would be rain as in rain, like as in a king. 96 is the fallen. Rain is R-I-E-G-N. I believe that's a spelling, probably wrong, but you get it right, like the reign of a king. It's unbelievable, he says. These people are really interested. The next supplier, Johnson Controls, is packing them in. Booth fanciers have put in more than 20,000 Johnson refrigerator magnets into reaching hands. So now we're talking magnetics. There's probably, well, that was odd. Computer doesn't normally do that. There's probably a clear line somewhere between good old customer and wide-eyed. Judging from Saturn's homecoming, in the muddy fields of Middle Tennessee, Saturn owners have crossed the line. What is a crossed line? Well, let's see. Here's a line. And now I'm going to cross it. What do you get? There's your X. Okay, so considering the message scrawled in a notebook under a tent where the owners could meet in real life, a 24-hour drive, blah, 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 Casper, Wyoming. So that's obviously giving you a place. And Wyoming doesn't even have a Saturn store. They finally opened up a dealership in Anchorage. Okay, so now we're giving locations. Anchorage, Wyoming, and Juneau. Juneau is Saturn's daughter, I think. They finally opened in Anchorage. It's pretty convenient for you, she asked. It's 500 miles, but that's not too bad. Do Pontiac customers, drivers drive to Detroit to buy Grand Am? Saturn counted 38,000 in 2 days. Tying the knot. Saturn executives to a sea of smiling people, blah, blah, blah. The president overtaking starry-eyed young woman. There you go. Are you sure you want to do this? He asks her father straightforwardliness. She does. She's about to be married on holy ground. Her betrothed, Kurt Natler, is surrounded by a chorus of Saturn employees. Chorus of Saturn. So that would be the core. Dutifully humming the wedding march while the National Cross section of strangers looks on. The symbolic Saturn gives the bride away. Well, that's a reference into some biblical shit there. So to continue, the couple worked from the neighboring Saturn dealership in York. In Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We should get their address or something. Hearing the call. It's a tone. Vice President says sales explains the car line has a strange attraction to people. Experienced salesmen and women, growing percentage of dealerships. Hudler estimates 20% of the people that they are school teachers, engineers. Hudler hears tales of the average owner, blah, blah, blah. Justify Hudler's. No, that's owner loyalty, not that there's anything average about Saturn owners. A customer of Moreover, California, so there's another location. Barrow, like Clyde Barrow from Bonnie and Clyde took upon himself to work at the factory in Spring Hill and called the base plate tow bar so that Saturns could be pulled behind a motorhome. So now you're talking electrical motor. He thought customers would like the Saturn on vacation with them. Carl Bertloff, an electrical engineer, 20 cars to drive to Clearwater to pay homage. So now we're talking sacrifice to the Tennessee automaker. So now we're listing places. In the Florida group, a man who claims that he bought the first Saturn in 1990 himself believes he had bought the first coupe and says the Saturn searched the records to verify his claim. Records. Regular guy. Berthoff appears to be a regular guy. Both his daughters now own Saturns. He says, but why get so excited? It's a small car that's had 8 recalls in 4 years. I just like everything about the company. I've been impressed by everything they've done, even before they built the first car, all the research they did, and the way they took the best ideas from the best companies. So in other words, they stole it. Yeah, the old Phoenician trick. Beg, borrow, and steal. For the others, Saturn may represent something slightly more fantastical. Giving yourself away there, boys? In their written message to Saturn, Barbara and Steve Reed McPherson wrote, we clicked our heels 3 times and said, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I told you guys this before. Oz is on Saturn. That's where the Yellow Brick Road leads to. And when we open our eyes, instead of finding ourselves in Kansas, we were in Spring Hill, Tennessee. At least there's a Saturn store in Kansas. So coded, absolutely coded, 100%. Saturn may represent something slightly more fantastical. Stepping on your own dick, boys. It's a good story. It's a good story. Could have used a vampire, though.